Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and today we're going to be doing the 6th episode of Modified Monday. And if you're wondering why I said that funny, I've never been able to say that word in my life, but let's just get right into the episode. And on a side note, you can see I have my Ram shirt on today, so I am representing the brand with this particular episode. Kind of funny that I happen to wear the shirt on the same day. So this particular Ram 1500 is lifted. I know it doesn't look like it only looks like it is leveled, but we are going to get into that in a moment. And then if you are stopping in for the first time, I would really appreciate if you subscribed. And this vehicle is being provided to us via Larry H. Miller Dodge Ram in Sandy. So first and foremost, this truck that they ended up lifting is a black appearance group. I have not gone over the black appearance group, so I'm actually going to go over the differences in the black appearance group first and foremost, and then I'll go over the aftermarket accessories on the truck. Then we'll take it out on a drive to see how this drives with the lift that it has. So first and foremost, the black appearance group makes the bumpers body painted. So you can see down here, they're body colored. So it's all blacked out right there. The other thing that it adds is it kind of blacks out the back of the headlights to match with that. And then you do get a sport hood as well with the black appearance group. So it's similar to the sport package, but the other difference is the logos are also blacked out. So on the sport appearance package, these will be chrome, but on the black appearance group, they black those out as well. The other thing that's going to be unique to the black appearance group, again, body painted bumpers down below. They do make the exhaust tips black on this black appearance group. And then the taillights, they add this little black part in here. You notice that that's the same that's on the Rebels, but they add that on the black appearance group that the sport package doesn't happen to have. And then you get blacked out badges, so 4x4 and Laramie, and then it blacks out the Ram badge on the back as well. So everything, like I said, is blacked out with this black appearance group. And finally, if you are wondering, you can get this with different colors, so you don't have to do black with the black appearance group. You can get it with, other colors like the reds, the whites, all that kind of stuff. So this isn't exclusive to having the brilliant black crystal that this truck's finished in. Now onto the fun stuff that you are all waiting for. So this has a 4-inch lift from Tough Country, and I know it doesn't look like it is a 4-inch lift, but if you look into the suspension here, that's where you're really going to be able to see how much this actually is lifted. The reason it doesn't look like it's lifted all that much is because the tire and rim setup are really big, especially for the size of this truck, and so it kind of makes it look or almost appear that the truck's only leveled when it actually is lifted. Now onto the rim setup, we can see that these are the blacked out 20-inch Hilo rims, and we can look over onto the other side to see that they're the same in the back there. And then they are wrapped in some of these Ridge Grappler, sorry, my apologies, tires. They're 295/65 20s, and so they have a really good appearance with this. If you wanted this to actually look like it's lifted a little bit more than this truck does look like, you could go for a smaller rim setup. So you could do something like a 17-inch rim, and then you could do a bigger, more aggressive tire setup with that, and then that would make it so that there'd be a little bit bigger of a gap on this suspension. But finishing things up on the suspension, that's something that's really neat about these new 2019 Ram 1500s is the fact that you can fit so much tire under these without the truck rubbing, because this truck, even though it has a 4-inch lift and it has these gigantic tires and rims on it, the truck does not rub like the previous generation would have if you did a similar setup to this. And then finally, not all that exciting, you do have some side steps that go along. So they did this body painted, so these match the actual paint on the body of the truck, and they've got those little steps right here, so where it's grips where your feet are going to be, but it all kind of like matches with that blacked out look that the truck has. And I like the contrast because you kind of see that the tire and then the part on the step that you actually step on are kind of like the same kind of color, and then the rims and the other part of the steps all match, so it kind of like makes this all match all together. But now that we are done going over all of the features and that on the outside, let's take this truck out for a quick drive to see how it drives differently from a regular 1500 that is not lifted like this particular truck is. We are going to take this truck out just quickly around the corner, basically just to see how the ride quality is with this lift, if it's much worse than a traditional 1500 without anything added to it. First off, what I'm noticing, and this is with any lifted vehicle, there is a little bit more vagueness with the steering, which trucks in general steer kind of vague, so it's not really a big deal, but you are going to notice that the steering is going to feel a little bit more more vague compared to a truck with stock suspension. I was expecting the ride quality to be a lot worse than it actually is. No, it's not as smooth as a stock truck, but it's not bad by any means. It's super comfortable. Like, it's not a ride that would beat you up. And so this is something that, just from a ride quality perspective, you would be able to drive on a daily basis, no problem. The other thing is, with fuel economy with a lifted truck, the fuel economy numbers are going to go down slightly, but it shouldn't be a huge amount. These trucks are pretty good nowadays, and so you might lose a mile per gallon or two, basically, with going with a lift. You're going to get a little bit of an acceleration to see if it accelerates any slower with the lift that this truck has. Yeah, and in terms of an acceleration, it actually accelerates really well. I'm not noticing a huge difference between this and a stock truck, so you're going to be fine on that aspect as well. So to wrap things up, what I would say is, if you're looking for something that's a little bit more unique style-wise, I always think that lifts are definitely a way to customize a vehicle, and just how this truck is set up, the lift has actually kind of, I feel like, helped out the truck, because it looks a lot cooler and it doesn't look like it's crazy tall, but then you do have a little bit more commanding view of the road because this is higher up off the ground. And so if you do have a Ram 1500 or you're thinking about purchasing one, definitely look into doing a lift on them. It definitely gives a truck more road presence, has a lot cooler look to it, and it doesn't really ruin the driving experience. And there we have it, everyone, the 6th episode of Modified Monday. And as always, thank you everyone so much for watching. And again, big shout out and thank you to Larry H. Miller, Dodge Ram, and Sandy for providing us with the vehicle today. If you are on the market for a Dodge Ram, Jeep, or Chrysler, definitely check these guys out. They will hook you up. But if you are stopping for the first time, please subscribe, comment down below what you thought, and then I will see all of you in that next video.